back, ladies and gentlemen. You're still watching Nile Cruise, and now we're going to talk about the Maadi sanctuary, where the Holy Family met the Nile. On the banks of the Nile, where the water meets ancient stone, lies a sanctuary that has witnessed 2 millennia of faith. The Church of Virgin Mary in Maadi is more than an architecture gem. It is a living witness to the Holy Family's passage through Egypt. Today we explore the spiritual legacy and the miraculous history of this sacred cathedral. Joining us is Mr. Peter Bahgat. He's representing the Church of Virgin Mary in Maadi. Thank you very much, Mr. Peter, for coming. Thank you. Mr. Peter, how does the Church of the Virgin Mary in Maadi define its historical origins and the distinguishes of heritage within the context of Egypt's ancient Coptic history?
Perfect. We shall start that we are talking about one of the prestigious monuments in the history of the Christianity in Egypt. Actually, we're talking about the a monument that stands gracefully almost for 17 centuries now of old. It's located on the eastern bank of the Nile, and it might be built almost on the 4th century, in the early Christian centuries. And we're talking about the person who gave the order to build this monument and this holy place, and she was the Queen and Saint Helena of the mother of Constantinople in the 4th century, right before she dies. If we're talking about the namings, the many names that this place had, we're talking about a Byzantine naming that was El Mertuti. It was named almost in the manuscripts that we had in the 11th and the 12th centuries, respectively by Mawhub and Ben Mansour. That talked about that place was named Mertuti, as I said, in Byzantine, which means the mother of God the Word. Then respectively we had another name, the Theotokos, which means in Greek Coptic the mother of God, till it reached the current name of the monastery and church of Virgin Mary in Maadi.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Peter, this site is known for a pivotal departure point for the Holy Family.
Perfect.
What specific historical or biblical significance marks this location as the gateway to their journey into Upper Egypt? Tell us more about this.
Perfect. Okay, we shall start from the beginning. If we're talking about the reason why there was a flight to Egypt by the Holy Family, Joseph and Mary and child Jesus, specifically Joseph, had a dream by the angel of the Lord, telling him about what King Herod was going to do, and his intention by killing and doing a massacre of innocent kids aged between the 2 years and 2.5 years. Jesus should have been one of them, except for the dream that told Joseph to start moving to Egypt and find a sanctuary in it. So they started leaving the land of Palestine, and the entrance was through Rafah area. Then they went to Tel Bosta and Samanud, and maybe also they passed through Bilbis, which is known now for Sharia or Sharqiya governorate, till they reached the Old Cairo area and stayed for a while there before reaching to a place that was 10 kilometers to the south, in Maadi, and they stayed almost for one night or a couple of days before the start of the sailing phase to reach Mount Kuskom, in which located the monastery of Mukharak, where they stayed for a longer period. And um, thus we know about this flight. It's a flight to all Egypt, not just the northern part. So it has to be an upper a part for Upper Egypt as well.
Mr. Peter, we want to talk more about the story of the floating Bible, which was found on the Nile in 1976. Tell us more about this.
Okay, actually, it's one of the most interesting and remarkable stories regarded with the church. On Friday, the 12th of March,
Yeah.
in the year of 1976,
Mhm.
one of the deacons, right after the Holy Mass, um, found a floating Bible. The miraculous part about it, that the papers were just wet, and it didn't drown in the water of the Nile. So it was found standing by the holy stairs. One of the deacons just told the priest at that time to grab the book,
Mhm.
the Bible, and uh, miraculously it was opened to Isaiah 19,
Mhm.
specifically the verse of 25, who says, "Blessed be Egypt, my people." So it was a direct message of protection, of faith, and knowing that uh, the Holy Family themselves had been at this spot before, and we knew that the sanctuary of the Holy Family or the Virgin Mary Church in Maadi was still full of faith and blessings from the Holy Family themselves.
Yeah. Mr. Peter, the story of the Holy Family is central to the church identity.
Yes.
How does the church ensure this narrative is preserved and communicated to younger generations and modern visitors nowadays?
Most of the time, the clergy and the guides help to to deliver this, to tell the story and deliver this story to younger generations. However, the servants and the uh, the people, the worshippers of the church itself, are trying to be a part of the the project of the flight to Egypt through the church by telling the story, and every now and then we do have artistic celebrations and commemorations of the occasion, which keeps it alive um, in all the younger generations' mind and souls.
Mr. Peter, as the Holy Family Trail gains international recognition now, how has the church seen the response of international pilgrims change in recent years?
Perfect. Actually, it hasn't changed since a while. Um, our church love to receive the visitors and the pilgrims from all over the world, specifically the relevant pilgrims who can relate and belong to the place by knowing that the interiors and the altar, the shape of the icon state is still the same to their churches at their countries, specifically the Eastern Christians, Orthodox Christians, coming from Russia, for example. Um, and we might also talk about the the people who are living with us. Actually, we're so we, we're so delighted that we see almost on weekly basis in the liturgies and the Holy Masses. People from Eritrea and Ethiopia just feel so related and welcomed and belong to the Holy Masses on a weekly basis and whenever they come to the church, yes.
Well, Mr. Peter, we want to talk more about the efforts currently being made to preserve the church structural and spiritual integrity together.
Perfect. We shall start by mentioning the restorations that happened in ancient ages, like what happened in the what already was mentioned in the manuscripts of the 11th and 12th century by Mawhub and Abul Makarim specifically. And they talked about that the place and the garden were renovated and restored for one time during this period between the 11th and 12th century. And we can talk about one of the major restorations was by the Prime Minister at that time, Kantar Ibrahim al-Gohari, or Girgis al-Gohari. That happened in the 18th century after demolishing and the burning of the church or the place itself. Then one last major restoration happened in the modern era, specifically in the 20th century, specifically in 1983. Till now, we are keeping the renovating and keeping this as blissful and as beautiful as it was one day.
Mr. Peter, finally, what message does the Church of the Virgin Mary in Maadi offer to the world today regarding Egypt's role as a land of spiritual peace?
No message will matter than the message we received in the floating Bible miracle that was stated in Isaiah by God himself, stating that blessed be Egypt, my people. It confirms the sense of sanctuary and the safe place of Egypt had been for the Holy Family as a whole. It reminds us that it's the safest place when we think about the massacre they had in Bethlehem. We're protected, and Egypt will be chosen as a land of peace and spirituality till we reach the end of ages.
Well, Mr. Peter Bahgat, the representative of the Church of Virgin Mary in Maadi, thank you very much for joining us today in Nile Cruise.
It was my pleasure, and I wish you all a peaceful day.
Thank
and
you.
Waiting for you next time just to be hosted at the Virgin Mary Maadi in Maadi.
Thank you, Mr. Peter. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, short break. I'll be right back.